There are three main ways in which they sabotage us. The first one is that our protectionist responses of fighting, running, and hiding look at the world from the outside in because they're survival. It's what the world is doing to you. So you're focusing on what everything else around you when you're going into these modes. And we think like that without even realizing it because that's exactly what it feels like from the time we're born. Here we are, and everything around us is doing this to us and making this happen. So we're not wrong, so to speak, but the problem is it doesn't give us any power. Keeps us victimized. So when we're overusing this, which everyone will do, because there's so much a part of us, we all overuse our protectionism because we've learned it as a coping style. When you're functioning from that perspective, looking at the world outside of you, you're forgetting where all of this is occurring, within you. When you're feeling anxious and you're feeling like Bob's the problem because you went to work and Bob made a critical comment to you and said, didn't like what you did, and you're like, I hate that Bob. Bob makes me feel terrible. I can't. And then you're at it. Where is that going on? Inside of you. Where is the struggle? Within. Bob's home. He's already forgotten. He's home. His feet are up. He has his remote control in his hand, perhaps sipping a glass of wine. And where were you at home? And off you go because you're trying to cope with this feeling. But you're blaming Bob, and it feels like Bob because that's what the survival mode thinks. That's the mentality. And again, it just kicks into gear. You feel threatened, it kicks into gear. So if you're on the street in a dark alley and you see some stranger there, should you run? Oh, yeah. Should you struggle if he comes up or she comes up? Oh, yeah. Should you hide if you can? Oh, yeah. Good stuff. Like I said, it serves a purpose. But when we're having repetitive emotions, when we are having patterns that repeat themselves over, these responses don't enable us because that's not their job. They don't function on that level. If you have an emotion like anxiety that comes up all the time, if you've learned to have too much anxiety, for instance, and you want to run from it, if you want to hide, if you want to fight with it, who you're fighting with, who you're running from, and who are you hiding from? Yourself. I personally have found that I have a tendency and an attraction towards the runner myself. I mean, we do play out all of our defenses, but I find that I relate quite well to that running, and I've seen that behavior in me. And I always still have to really check, rein in, because the idea that I don't have to feel negative or miserable or whatever the problem is, and I can just escape and go somewhere else, very attractive. That running, love it. So as a metaphor, I'm on the top, and he's on the bottom. And for that moment, that old rescuing feeling came over me. I blamed myself. I felt guilty. I felt terrible about what had happened. What did I do? And then I remembered, no, that's not my responsibility. And so I kept walking. I chose to take care of me rather than take care of him. Was it pleasant? No. But growth does have a price. What I want to say is that the reward is greater than the price because I'm here today. So what I'd like you to take from this is that when you are going towards growth and seeking some change in your personal life, you will be threatened. If you want success, you will again fear your failure. If you want to lose weight, you'll be afraid to give up the food that comforts the hole in your soul. So that threat you will want to protect.